MAXHUB.
Hey, with that, it's the 11 o'clock, top of the hour. We're going to get started right now. Really want to thank everybody for joining us today. We're so excited. If you didn't hear, the 18th of July, we had a great announcement with Microsoft at Microsoft Inspire. We announced that we're becoming a Microsoft Teams partner, and we've also announced a new line of products that we're going to be launching in the next few months that we really want to introduce you to and let everybody know about. We think that it's groundbreaking because anybody who's been in the industry long enough, they've seen. I mean, I've been doing this for 22 years. And we've seen the biggest issue companies have with adding new technology, adding new products, going to go, hey, look at, let me expand my conference rooms, has always been the price point. Hey, can I add this conference room? Do I need this conference room? Do I got the budget for it? Can I make the budget for it? Right. And for so long, conference rooms have been at a very high level. Right. And I'll say this 22 years when I started, average conference room was like 50 grand, 75 grand, right, to install. Now they've gotten down to that 10 or 15 mark. But for a lot of companies, that's still a high price point for them. So how can we lower it, but still give them the same great functionality, the quality, and all the end user experience that they desire and deserve? That's what we're going to announce today. So I want to introduce everybody to a new member of the MAXHUB team. He's our business development manager for our MTR product and so MTR, just so they don't know, Microsoft Teams rooms. So Alan's our BDM for our Microsoft Teams rooms and hardware that goes along with it. So Alan, thank you for joining us today. We're really excited about this. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Alan and his presentation. Once again, during this meeting, any questions that you have, feel free to chat it. Go in the Q&A section. We'll ask as we go through. Always happy to answer anything that you have. So, Alan, with that, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, thanks. So I'm Alan Nichols. I'm the new BDM over here at MAXHUB, and I'm not sure, I can't see everybody's name on there, but I may still know a couple of people out there in the industry. I'm a former Microsoftie, so I'm over here once again pitching Microsoft stuff. And here, let me know when my slide deck pops up here, Charlie. It looks like it's loading right now. Awesome, perfect. So really exciting. I know Microsoft has not had a new partner in the MTR space in years, and we've had, they have had new devices pop in. They've had new headsets and things like that, but they haven't had somebody new in the MTR space. And now after Inspire, we can start talking about it. We can start showing this thing off and start getting everybody excited about it because we are very excited about it. As a little background, MAXHUB, for anybody on the webinar that doesn't really know who MAXHUB is, we've been around for a while, generally kind of concentrating on the displays and different kind of cameras. So we've worked with different manufacturers to make Zoom rooms, regular Windows rooms, things like that. And we've had great success in that. We've been able to put conference rooms from anywhere from like a 50, 55-inch screen all the way up to, what was it, like a 32-foot screen, I think we recently installed, Charlie?
600-inch screen at a bar in New Jersey. More to come, folks. You're going to see a lot of cool things come out about that.
Yeah, if you want a 600-inch screen in your conference room, talk to Charlie. He'll absolutely hook you up. So kind of moving on. So for those who aren't really familiar with an MTR, and MTR is, it stands for Microsoft Teams Room. And I would say the vast majority of organizations right now, they do have Microsoft, whether it's Microsoft Exchange Online, they're using Microsoft Teams, they're using Teams Voice, Teams Meetings. What the MTR does is brings that collaborative experience that Teams and the whole Microsoft stack brings to your meeting room. So when you have a Zoom meeting, you're going to use Outlook to book it anyway. You have a WebEx meeting, you have to use Outlook to book it anyway. And everybody's going to chat on Teams beforehand if you're a Teams shop. What this does is gets rid of all that third party. It kind of gets rid of the complexity. It gets rid of the connectors, and it just works. It becomes part of your organization. It is like a little tiny PC. It looks like it's similar to like an Intel NUC that they have now announced. I believe they're discontinuing. So we're making our own hardware. And what this does is it allows you to go into Outlook, book your room, walk into that room, and just press one button, a little purple join button right on the screen, and start your meeting. Because all of us have been familiar with, you walk into the room, there's a bunch of cables on the table, nobody has the right HDMI adapter, everybody's trying to figure out how to power their laptops, nobody knows how to plug in, the audio's not working, and when you finally do get the presentation going, now that we're in a hybrid world, that presentation that's going on that screen is not going to anybody outside who's joined that meeting. And what I've seen in the past is people will take their laptop or their tablet and they'll just take it and point it at the screen and stream that to the people in the meeting. So then they're just kind of getting a third-party view of the slide deck or the presentation that's going on. MTR gets rid of all of that. So it takes that complexity out. When you want to go share something, just like I shared this PowerPoint deck here in this webinar, when you share your PowerPoint deck out on your Teams meeting, it's going to pop up in the Teams room. It's going to pop up on everybody's laptop. It's going to pop up on their phones if they're joining in via their Android phone, their iPhone, their Android tablets, iPads, you name it. And it also gets rid of that device affinity as well. I can walk into a Teams room. I can have just my phone. Say something terrible happened to my laptop on the way to work. I left my sunroof open at night. It got rained on because we're in Florida here and that's all it ever does is rain. And now I still have to make my presentation to the board and I've got to do all these things. I can literally pull that slide deck off of my OneDrive, join that Teams meeting, pop it over to the Teams room as they walk in there with the Bluetooth beaconing, and I can present that whole slide deck right from my phone. So it just makes meetings better, makes them easier, makes them more collaborative, and brings that entire hybrid work space together. And that's going to be with most Teams rooms in the industry. They all run on the same software set. So what we bring to the table is we are not using old hardware anymore, like most of the MTR competition is out there. We are starting right out of the gate with Windows 11 IoT. We're using a 12th generation Intel processor, so it's energy efficient and very high performance. We're coming out of the gate with a 3-year warranty, which is way better than anybody else is offering right now. We are going to be offering the same security, the same ease out of the box experience as Microsoft has always offered with all of their Teams room solutions. We're going to be, we're going to be supporting basically any Teams certified USB device. You want to bring in a third-party camera system, you need to bring in a PA system, you name it, we're running Windows 11, we're going to be able to support it. As long as it's Teams certified. If it's not Teams certified, you're going to be on your own on that, but it is Windows, it can work. And we can work with you to see if we can bring all those partners into the space as well and work with them to get certified. Now, the more exciting part is that 12th generation Intel i3, I'll show you some performance stuff later in the decks. That thing is 10 cores. It is a beast. It's really fast. So as you start looking at different partners or different third-party software for some of your rooms, we're going to be able to support those software DSPs. We're going to be able to support some of the third-party software coming in there without ruining the performance on your meeting. It's still going to be quick. It's going to be snappy, and we're going to be able to work with you on that. We're offering I believe it's a 10-inch touchscreen. So it's a 1920 by 1200 resolution. So it's really sharp. It's really bright. It's got a person and room sensor on it. So it'll wake up your TV. It's going to wake up your MTR when people walk into the room. We put a Kensington lock on everything. So your things don't disappear. Nobody likes it when all their video conferencing equipment walks away on them. So let's move over to more of kind of the.
Jennifer, go back for one quick second. I just want to touch it. So now we're announcing pricing in the next week, but I can let you guys know this just so you all have an idea, right? I talked about it when we first said Microsoft is really excited that we're being able to launch this out. We're excited to be able to launch this out. This MAXHUB X Core kit is going to be under $1,000 MSRP. Right. And what does that mean for the industry? That means that for the industry, we can now go in and build small, focused, even some medium rooms for under $2,000 MSRP, under $2,500 MSRP. All those customers that have been wanting to expand out in the industry and wanting to expand to more conference rooms, now they got the quality that MAXHUB has always offered, the performance that we've always offered, and the industry leading 3-year warranty that you're not going to find from anybody else, and at a price point that no one's going to come close to. That's where our winning solution is. That's really where it is. And you're going to see on this, we're going to have some of our own bundles, but like always, we partner with a lot of great Microsoft MTR partners as well. And this can go into any Microsoft Teams room and work with any Microsoft Teams peripheral that's out there today. That's the great part of it, the flexibility and expandability. So just wanted to make sure you all have an idea about that. Pricing will come out later this week, or I'm sorry, later next week, and you all will be shocked when you see it. But sub $1,000 for a PC module and for the touch panel combined. Really excited about it. Really excited about that. So go ahead, Alan. Back to you.
Oh, that was perfect. Thank you. I appreciate you jumping on that one. So yeah, we're going to be coming in at like half to less than half the price with 2 to 3 times the performance. It's going to be killer. And actually, one thing, thanks for getting us back here. I wanted to just kind of point this stuff out right here, how we're using the TPM 2.0 and Windows 11 out of the box. This piece of hardware is going to be ready for the future. Because everybody knows that when you're running 3, 4, 5-year-old hardware from Microsoft, eventually they're going to stop supporting it. And future versions of Windows, future versions of updates are going to be put in like extended release. So as time goes on, if you're running older hardware, you're going to start falling out of compliance. We wanted to come out of the gate with fresh hardware, fresh everything. So this thing, when you install it into your customer's environments, or if you are the customer and you install it in your environment, this thing's in it to win it. It's going to be there for a while, and it's going to keep performing, and it's going to keep secure, and it's going to keep all the Windows updates and support on it.
Alan, let me jump in. Since you touched on that, we actually just had a question, right? So how does MAXHUB address potential latency and network connectivity issues when conducting high-definition video conferencing or sharing content in real time? Hey, I'm really good at reading. See how good that is? So that was a question that we had. So how do we address it, right? I mean, I think we've talked about coming out with new product, new hardware, new chipsets in it. How does that address the potential latency and network connectivity issues that people are running into today?
So a lot of the latency network connectivity issues, if you're going to experience it on your Teams room, you're going to experience it in your Teams meetings, you're going to experience it across the board. So what we do, since we run the entire Microsoft stack of software on this device, we're going to be able to diagnostic logging through your Teams admin portal. You're going to have all your meetings are going to show up in your Teams admin portal. You're going to be able to see all of the call quality statistics in there. Even in your Teams meeting, you'll be able to see your live call quality statistics going on in your meeting. So as you start experiencing these problems, we can use the logging based right out of the Microsoft Teams tenant to start diagnosing who was lagging, whose camera was bad, or is this person on a VPN, which is causing their video to jam up. So we can work with Microsoft support on that. We're going to have support people who are going to be able to work with you on that. But yeah, when you're looking at these latency issues, they are going to be network related, but we're going to be working directly in that Teams tenant to collect all those logs so you can diagnose it without having to, say, hook Wireshark up and then have your IT staff just sit here for days and days and days trying to figure out where is that latency coming from.
And also, I think also the one part that I touch on, right, where you might be running into, some people call it latency issues. At the end of the day, sometimes it's not a latency issue. Sometimes it's also an issue with just old hardware. Right, you got 3, 4-year-old old hardware that's in there today. Right, you got older PCs. Us being able to launch the newest processors that are on the market today, that's going to help make sure that our product, our connectivity, is not going to be the issue that you're running into. We're going to be able to make sure that our product is going to be able to give you the fastest, best. And Alan has a slide here in a minute that's going to talk about that as well. So go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we wanted to take that out of there. So when you're running MTR on an older piece of hardware, if you're going to start running front row, you're going to start running filters on it, it might start to choke as you're putting on whiteboard and things like that. The great thing about Teams meetings is they are not held directly out of the MTR since they're in the cloud. So we can always differentiate, is it your MTR that's having the problem or the individual's PC that's having the problem? And all that logging is going to be right in the Teams tenant. We'll be able to work with you to find out where the problem's happening. But yeah, Definitely not going to be performance related with this one. This one is an absolute beast, and we'll show you that in a little bit here. But yeah, this is kind of what we're looking at, because we want to kind of get rid of this right here. This is terrible. And I'm sure everyone in this webinar has seen that kind of room where you're passing cables, you're passing USB drives, and that's one thing IT staff, as a former IT admin and a former consultant, I have seen this a lot in the past where IT staff absolutely hates it when somebody, say an outside consulting firm or an outside vendor, brings in their own USB device. They don't want that on their network, because who knows what was on their network? You plug it in, who knows what it's going to do to your network? So in the past, people have tried to isolate Wi-Fi networks, isolate the plug-in networks by MAC address, just to kind of eliminate things, or even going as far as disabling USB on the device, or making, say, they just used a PC in the room, and that PC is just not going to be domain joined, and that's going to come up another problem. Who's got the admin password to it, and how do we present from this thing? With the Teams room, you get rid of all that. You don't have to have that USB device, or if they do bring a USB device, tell them to plug it into their own laptop and then project it through Teams, so they're not plugging anything into yours. And we want to get all those wires off the table. We just want it to be a nice, clean setup like that. Everybody loves walking into a clean conference room. It looks better, it operates better, and it gets rid of that 10 or 15 minutes before every meeting where everybody's just trying to figure out how to run it. All right. Now, here's the good part. These are the kits that Charlie was talking about. So we're going to have a couple of kits coming right out of the gate when we do our official launch. So right now, our kind of a premium one's going to be our SO7 video bar. Yeah, and I'll show you the specs on them on the next slide. And we're going to have another kit called the WS kit here, and that's going to have the same camera, but it's going to be in like a webcam format, and it's going to have a wireless or wired Bluetooth or USB to the whatever device you need it to do, speakerphone that you can put in the middle of the room. And that's going to be for different types of rooms that you want to do here.
Alan, can I touch on these? Alan, real quick, one more question that just popped up. And I know it's your first time doing this with Alan. I always throw the questions during the call. That way we keep everybody engaged. So I want to make sure, because we had a great question. What level of customization and integration does MAXHUB provide businesses looking to incorporate its collaborative work solutions in their existing workflows and infrastructure? So can you kind of explain where MAXHUB product fits in today and where other products are? I think obviously knowing the lane, right? I think that's what I tell everybody. Obviously the product line, we always want to know what lane we're focusing on and what we're not focusing on. Can you touch on that a little bit between customization and touch panels and things of that nature?
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of like the customization, it all depends on the use case. And as a former state and local government guy over at Microsoft, I've seen a lot of that, where we would have people who needed customization for MTRs, so for doing, say, prison visits, or if the courts had to do something like a remote arraignments, or if you were going to do a remote visit, they want to do a touch-free thing where you can use like voice activation where you don't want to touch that. We're not going to do the customization ourselves, but because it is a Windows 11 box and we have a lot of friends in the industry that do those, we can support you getting those customizations in there. So if you bring us a situation, say that you need, say, a couple hundred rooms, but all these rooms have to have a certain policy on them, or they have to have a specific way that they're going to work, or they're going to have different, like we were talking about with a touch-free thing, let us know about it. If we can't do it for you, I know plenty of plenty of industry partners who we can work with and get them on board with you, and we can do all kinds of customization with you. Does that kind of answer the question? I guess it's in Q&A. I guess give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or an angry face if you need more on that one.
Well, and I think Alan, I think obviously, what I'd tell everybody as well is doing, hey, understand this is really us getting into this. You're going to see a lot more to come from MAXHUB, right? We've started to announce this to more and more of our partners out there. And what I keep on telling everybody is going, hey, this is where we're at today, right? Our goal is to be in this partnership with Microsoft for 20 or 30 years. So you're going to continue to see the partnership and the integration grow and grow and grow. And to Alan's point, we're definitely working with a lot of third-party companies as well, third-party manufacturers, to make sure that we can partner and team up. So you're just going to see that collab continue to So we're really excited about it. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, absolutely. The third party integrating with third parties is key to success. It's good key to success for us, and it's going to be key to success for even the end users and resellers and all that. I do remember there was a really specific scenario during COVID that we had that somebody wanted auto answer on their Teams rooms. So they could walk into a room. It was for, I can't say the customer, but it was for a court system. And what they wanted to do was the judge wanted to be able to call that MTR. The MTR had to be behind bulletproof glass so it couldn't be touched. And it had to have a certain type of audio system on it so it could come through the glass so the inmate would not be able to touch anything, use anything as a weapon. So we worked with another third party to make sure that the judge could call this MTR. It would automatically answer, bring up the camera, bring up the audio device, and start the arraignment immediately. So yeah, we definitely love our third parties, and we will just bring us what you need, bring us what you need to do, and we will find you a solution. That's kind of my expertise here. I've been doing that for years, and I love doing that. So if you have something weird, I love it. Let's do it. All right, so kind of getting back to our good stuff here. So our SO7 video bar here, this thing's fantastic. I got it kind of sitting right up there. They keep telling me I need to mount it at the bottom, but I don't have any way to do that yet. But it'll sit up there so everybody can see it, so my neck isn't in the way. But yeah, it's great. It's got a 12 megapixel or a 4K camera on it. It does 5x digital zoom, and when it is zoomed in, it doesn't really get all grainy. We'll have more videos on it, and we'll show you how that works. It'll automatically detect where you are in the room. It's got 6 beamforming microphones on it that are going to track where you are in the room. So it'll do auto reframing as you walk around or as different people at the conference table start talking. It'll be able to kind of shift the vision from here to there. Our BM35, the wireless speaker puck, is going to, it's got, what is it, 8 beamforming microphones on it. And that's actually what I'm talking to you on right now. So if you like the audio quality on it, you're going to like it in your meeting room. It's really loud. It does a great job of background noise cancellation. It's got we put AI noise suppression in there. So if you're on a conference, even at home, if you're not using MTR and you just want this thing as your conference room puck at home, I've had people knocking on my door. I've had people ring the doorbell. Nobody knows. It gets rid of all that in the background. It's a slick device. I like that.
I can say something about that. I have 3 dogs, and they go nuts when the doorbell rings or somebody comes to deliver a package. And I'm on a call with our entire team, and no one knew that the voice was coming from me, and that there were dogs barking in the background. So it's great. And also on the SO7 video bar, we'll be announcing that officially on August 8th. So coming up here pretty soon. Sorry, I just had to jump in there on those 2 things.
Oh, no worries. That's perfect. I love it. Yeah, so our W31 USB camera, it looks like a little webcam. It just looks like a standard webcam, but it's using the same 4K sensor as the SO7 video bar is. So if you do have a different kind of room, or if you just want a really awesome webcam for doing your presentations at home, we've got it for you. It's got the same 120 degree angle. It's going to have all the different or all the intelligent reframing built right into it. So whether you use it at home, you use it on our MTRs, we gotcha. And that's all of these devices right now we're waiting for certification on, but we're going to have it by September. We gotcha. Now, one of the things that we absolutely love to talk about is MAXHUB's strong suits in the past. So we've got touch screens, we've got ultra wides, we've got LED boards. We can turn your conference room into Las Vegas or New York City if you really like. But yeah, what we want to do is we want to be that partner that is going to bring that premium signature Teams room experience to you. And I'm not sure how familiar everybody is with the signature Teams rooms or the or getting that super ultra wide display, or if you're doing front row. You can kind of see it here on the front row. When you have a 21:9 display, you're going to have different areas sitting here that you can do a lot more with. So if you want to have people at the bottom, chats, you want to have your attendees on there, and then the content in the middle, you can only do that with a 21:9 screen, and we have them. Charlie would absolutely love to sell you 100 of them, so let him know. and they're a 5K native display, and our FTR is going to be able to handle that bad boy no problem. So if we get you the wide, oh, go ahead. What was that, Charlie?
Oh yeah, no, and let me add, right? I mean, I would tell you we're really excited about this. I would say this: we announced our 21 by 9 105 at Enterprise Connect. We showed our 21 by 9 105 at Infocom, and we won Best in Show. Not only did we show the 105, but we also showed our 92 21 by 9 that will be coming out early next year. We also have DV LEDs that'll go anywhere from 138 inches all the way up to 202 inches. So when you start looking at 21 by 9, know that MAXHUB is going to be one of your best sources of providers for it, right? We're working with Microsoft, but I will tell you this now, and I know it's kind of weird to say in a Microsoft call, you're going to see a lot more cloud-based providers move to 21 by 9. It is a phenomenal aspect ratio for video conferencing. Microsoft Teams front row looks great on it, but us old school guys who remember the dual monitor days know with 21 by 9, that's gone. One monitor can handle it all for you. So we're really excited about it. Got a lot of great feedback and more to come. So happy to be partnering with Microsoft and happy to be doing a lot more of this. Hey, Alan, I got to ask you one question because it popped up in Q&A, and I know this is your favorite question. I know this is a question that you love answering more than anybody else, right? So how does MAXHUB and Microsoft address potential interoperability challenges between different collaboration tools and software suites commonly used in enterprises, ensuring a cohesive user experience? Man, if I'm going to fly that down, okay, I got a Microsoft Teams room. What about Zoom? What about WebEx? What about all these other applications that people want to use? How did that incorporate easily?
If I'm interpreting the question correctly, it sounds like he's talking about direct guest join. So direct guest join it's built right into the MTR. So all you have to do is go into the settings when you're setting it up, hit the checkbox. So the software out of the box is going to support not only Zoom, but it's also going to support WebEx and BlueJeans. And what that does is when you have to set up your Teams room for it, you have to set up the permissions on the room resource account. But once you set that up, you'll be able to say, hey, somebody sent me a Zoom meeting, forward that Zoom meeting to the Teams room, and that's going to pop up and it's going to give you a Blue Join button. Or if you send your WebEx meetings or your BlueJeans meetings, the MTR will know about it and it'll set up the appropriate thing and it'll actually join that meeting using a WebRTC version of that meeting room client. So you're going to be able to still do all your presentations through the native Zoom on your laptop. You're going to be able to do whatever you need on WebEx and BlueJeans. So yeah, Microsoft has you covered on that using Direct Guest Join. So if you do have a business that gets, oh, go ahead, sorry.
Good. No, I was gonna say, look, I would tell you folks, that's the one, I think that's one of the biggest questions that we get in the industry today is, hey, I got Microsoft Teams. How do I incorporate Zoom? People still want to use Zoom. I got outside people that are using Zoom. How do I do that? Microsoft Teams definitely has a great answer for it, right? And I think, in working with Alan and utilizing it more recently, it really is a very seamless application to make life simple for people to go, hey, I don't have to worry what other system people are using. I can incorporate it into my Microsoft Teams rooms. It just makes life simple for people.
Yep, absolutely. It's seamless. It's built right out of the box. It's a fantastic platform. And I know Microsoft is working with as many partners as they can to add more in the future. Not sure about their roadmaps anymore. I don't have access to those anymore. Sad. But I'm sure they'll add more. And if you are looking for a specific one and you don't have a contact for your Microsoft EA provider, let me know. I might be able to find one that could answer your question for you. So yeah, feel free to contact me. I'm the nerd on the team here. I might be the BDM, but I've been working in IT consulting, video services, telephony for over 20 years. So I've got you. If everybody wants to play Stump the Chump, I love that. It's one of my most favorite things to do. So these are our 21 by 9s. Another one, actually, I got one sitting right here that I love to do demos on. This is going to be our collaboration displays. So if you need to do whiteboarding in your room, we're going to be able to do that as well. You're going to be able to share your whiteboard right to your MTR. You just plug this screen in via USB and HDMI, configure it, tune it, you're good to go. I can go up to this screen, I can hit my whiteboard, and I can just start drawing pictures on there in the meeting, whatever we need to do. It just works natively with the Microsoft Teams whiteboard application. If you're looking for more of a standard small huddle room, medium room, or if you have a big room that you're just doing presentations on, we got these standard displays, the CMA series, and they go all the way up to 98 inches. So yeah, they're huge as well. Now for the fun part. If you want to get out of these, like the huddle room into the small room space, and say you have a baseball stadium or you have an auditorium or you have a large meeting room, that you're going to need hanging microphones. You're going to need microphones built into the desk. You're going to need ceiling tile microphones. You're going to have a third-party audio system in the room, some kind of a PA system. Right now, these are our partners that we're currently working with. So we got Nareva. We got this big video bar up here. That thing will handle a 30-foot room, no problem. You have Sennheiser. Sennheiser is going to give you ceiling tile microphones. It's going to give their entire line of the team certified devices, Audio Technica as well. Now, if you have another one that I always ran across as a Microsoftie was NDI. So if you do have meetings that need to be publicly broadcast, this MTR here is going to be able to do it for you. We have a partnership going with NDI where you're going to be able to say, hey, I want to broadcast this meeting. Let's pop it in NDI, stream that bad boy to YouTube or stream that bad boy to Facebook Live. We're going to be able to do that with you. And it's another functionality that's based right out of Teams as well. So it's easy to set up. If you have a conference room that, say, you don't have one of our awesome displays, you don't have one of our awesome 105s, but you're living in 1998 and you got a projector, we can work with Extron, QSys, Crestron to hit that join button, turn on your projector, lower your screen, dim the lights, you name it. And we're working with more and more partners all the time to try to get these software sets and certifications for these room control systems in there as well.
And I just got to say real quick, if you do have a customer that's using a projector, please reach out to us. We got great options on DV LEDs and large screen monitors that are a fraction of the cost long term. So I just got to throw that in there because it's part of our entire product line. But on top of that, this is just the start, folks. I would tell you this right now. This list that you see in front of you is just the start. I will give Andy Teo, our product manager here in the US, great guy. If you get a chance to talk to him, complete geek, quietest geek you'll ever find, though. He is working hard to continue to bolster and drive more partnerships. And I think this is what you're going to see, partnerships Q3. I think Q4, this is going to double. I think Q1, Q2 next year, you're going to see 3 or 4 slides full of partnerships. It's just continuing to grow, right? And the Microsoft partnership that we just announced is going to continue to add that. We know we can't work in a vacuum. We got to work in the ecosystem. And that's our goal, is to really make sure that we can be a part of this full ecosystem that's out there today.
Yeah,
Yep.
our
And
marketing
if you do,
department, I've been on calls weekly with most of these partners. I had 2 calls last week with Narivas and one with QSys. So we are gearing up to also come out with some exciting marketing initiatives with these guys too. So you guys can look out for that in the future too.
yeah, and if you do have any partners that say you do have some current conference room equipment you want to integrate, let us know. We're going to let me know, let Charlie know. If you know Andy, let Andy know. We love adding new equipment to our menu here. So if you do have an integration, the customization that you need, just let us know. We'll start working on it and we can see what we can do with you. And now moving on to the meat and potatoes that I promised everybody. These are some of the Cinebench performance marks that I've done with a couple of MTRs that I do have here. I can't name names since this is a public webinar, but these are 2 that I have as a Microsoftie that I sold for years and years, and they're very big players in the market. And they're running i5s, but they're running very old i5s. We're running an i3, and our performance on this is just absolutely decimates their devices. So if you are looking at some of that software customization that you need to run fast, or say a software-based DSP that you're going to be running in your room, we're going to be your best bet. We're going to be able to handle that. We gotcha.
Yeah, and I just got to say to this point, I'm not going to lie. I was one of the folks here at MAXHUB that was a little nervous when they said, hey, Charlie, we're coming out with these i3s. I was like, whoa, hold on a second. Well, what do you mean, right? But seeing the benchmark test, seeing it in action, seeing it compared to our competitors, wow. I'm shocked by how powerful this new generation of chipsets are out there. compared to its predecessors. So yeah, the i3 that we have will run circles around a lot of the i5 processors that are out there. So actually just got a good question on that part, right? What future innovations and developments can we expect to see from the ongoing collaboration between MAXHUB and Microsoft, and how will these advancements further revolutionize the way teams collaborate and communicate? Man, you guys are writing some long questions for me to
Don't
sit
give
there and
away
answer.
too much, Charlie. I know you. You're
Yeah,
gonna just
it's
give them our whole
recorded.
roadmap.
I know. Look, people know me. There's a reason why I don't work for the CIA. All of the secrets be out there, just all of them. Here's I'll tell you Charlie's hot take, right, for a moment. This is a start, right? And if you look at our entire product line between our digital signage, our DV LEDs, our interactive flat panels, our UC products, our podiums that are out there, we're one of the few companies out there that can really bring Microsoft Teams rooms to a wider variety of different conference room spaces than they're at today, right? And I think that's a big part for why we're one of the most recent Microsoft Teams partners to join, right? Because we do have a very large breadth of products, and we can meet everything from the small conference room and focus conference room to those large auditorium spaces. So I tell everybody, this is phase one. This is phase one for us. You're definitely going to see a lot more coming out. You're going to see a lot more of our entire product line grow into the Microsoft Teams rooms. That's our goal. That's their goal. And we're really excited to see the long term, right? I tell everybody, this is phase one. Get ready for 2024, right? First half. Get ready for second half of 2024. Get ready for Microsoft Ignite. Get ready for InfoComm next year. We're going to continue to have better products and better integration and more integration, not just with Microsoft, but the entire ecosystem that Microsoft represents as well. That's what I'm really excited about. So, Alan, if you want to add to that, feel free.
I can't even add to that. That was absolutely perfect, man.
Wow. Okay, that's a record. Wait, hold on. We recorded that, right? That's recorded, so everybody can hear that was perfect. I just want to make sure.
We're gonna edit that one out. I said nothing.
Yeah, but no, and look, Alan, I think I'll say this: we're building an entire Microsoft Teams rooms in division inside of MAXHUB, right? Alan's the first part of that. And we're going to continue to build that group because we know Microsoft Teams is one of the larger players in this industry. Now, I'm also going to say this to you all. I don't want anybody on this call to think that we're walking away or moving away from Zoom. We're not. We're continuing to work with them. We're continuing to build with them, right? We understand that we need to be able to be the most flexible company in the market to meet the needs of the end users that are out there, right? Whether you're a Zoom house, a Microsoft Teams house, or you want to live in the BYOD world, we want to make sure that we have products that can support your needs and support your applications. And we also understand that customers today that might be Microsoft Teams, might be Zoom, might be BYOD later on, and we want our products to be able to take care of them as well. That's our goal. The flexibility, simplicity, ease of use, and cost effective like nobody else in the marketplace. That's our ultimate goal. So.